Hello everyone and welcome back to W2K14 Universe. I'm your host Jitch and you are watching NXT. Well, as previously advertised, once a month, at the end of the month, the day before a pay-per-view, we will be seeing a qualifying matchup, so to speak, or some kind of situation that takes place on Saturday's Superstars just before that pay-per-view, in which we will have an Earn Your Spot match between someone from Raw or SmackDown up against someone from NXT. Now, generally, this will be someone who's kind of held in a higher regard here on NXT, someone who's perhaps kind of finished here on NXT, so to speak. Maybe they've kind of earned their way to perhaps leaving NXT and moving up to Raw and SmackDown. But as it currently stands, we're only 4 weeks deep into NXT. The Championship tournament is taking the primary spotlight. We don't know who is able to we don't know who's quite ready yet to be leaving NXT. We haven't really gotten a full feel around. We've only seen each superstar officially as of last week on NXT. So, you know, obviously you can point out the fact that Dusty Rhodes here has a bit of an advantage over everyone else because he's the only person in this match who holds a victory, but one victory shouldn't be enough to say, hey, this guy's got a priority treatment over everybody else. I love Dusty Rhodes. I think this is the guy who's got to be my hands-on favorite to win this over-the-top rope battle royal. But 6 NXT superstars are going to compete here tonight in an over-the-top rope battle royal, and the winner will meet a low-ranked superstar from Raw or SmackDown that is yet to be decided. And if they can defeat that low-ranked superstar, then they will switch places, and someone from Raw or SmackDown will officially be a part of NXT, and they will leave NXT. The NXT superstar will leave NXT, I mean. So this is a really interesting matchup. This is a first time ever. And every entrant in this Battle Royal, much like most of NXT has been thus far, completely randomly selected. There are no bias, no favoritism. This is all coming down to just pure dumb luck. So tonight we've got so far King Kong Bundy, Dusty Rhodes, and now the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase. And of course, Dusty Rhodes and DiBiase, no strangers to each other. They've set foot in the ring with each other in the past, and they will be doing that again here tonight. I'm gonna start cutting these entrances short once they get to the ring, just because otherwise we're definitely going to be watching entrances longer than we're going to be watching this match. It's an over-the-top rope battle royal, so I already know this isn't going to be very long. Now, traditionally NXT follows a format of only 3 matches per show, but here tonight we have 4 matches for you, as we've got this bonus battle royal that was thrown on, and it looks like that's got to be Darren Young, yeah. I say that had to be Darren Young because, of course, if you don't remember, Titus O'Neil advanced to the semi-finals last week in the main event of NXT when he defeated Dusty Rhodes. Very impressive victory for Titus O'Neil to be the first confirmed semi-finalist in the NXT Championship tournament. There is something very upsetting when Darren Young does that with his legs. I don't know why, it just makes me really uncomfortable. Legs don't move like that. I mean, I guess they do. I guess you could. I just would prefer if you didn't. Well, here's an interesting pick. As I say, it had to be randomized. There is literally no other explanation why a man that was destroyed by Andre the Giant in a minute is in this match. But hey, Virgil has got as good of a chance as anybody here tonight to win this over-the-top rope battle royal, and maybe, just maybe, send someone off of SmackDown or Raw in his place. I mean, that would surprise me, I'm not gonna lie, but it's entirely possible. I believe we're 5 people deep into this battle royal, so we've got just 1 person left. And there he is, the first NXT main event. It was a loss, but absolute legend in the wrestling world, and of course here in this universe he hasn't aged a day. but this guy has been wrestling since color TV wasn't a thing. And I'm very interested in finding out if Bruno Sammartino can go away from NXT. That sounds really mean. I don't mean it like that. If he can graduate from NXT, I think is how we'll phrase it. What about a row we got here? Well, here we go. The 6 participants are in the ring. The rules are simple. Throw your opponents over the rope until you are the last man standing in the ring. You have then earned yourself a match against someone from Raw or SmackDown who is the bottom-ranked superstar. And I've heard a lot of rumors. Oh, over the ropes goes King Kong Money. I've heard a lot of rumors that the winner of this match has a good chance of meeting Robert Scorpio one-on-one, as he is the current bottom-ranked superstar over on the SmackDown roster. So we'll be interested to see if perhaps that is where things go here tonight. Virgil caught up on those ropes as Dusty Rhodes looks to try and eliminate Bruno Sammartino. And I'm interested to see Darren Young and Ted DiBiase lock up, as I feel like those two see eye to eye. They like their millions of dollars. That's literally in the theme music. And the name of DiBiase is over the ropes goes DiBiase. Darren Young unable to get him out. I do wonder who this will come down to. Of course, I also wonder who the fan favorite in this Battle Royal is. Dusty Rhodes caught up on the rope. Big strike to the face of the $1 Million Man. And, oh, no. Never mind. I thought we were going to see him go over the ropes. Strike back there from Dusty Rhodes. I'm going to say I'm a little bit disappointed to see Bryce Walker not get an opportunity to graduate from NXT. I think he was very impressive in his debut. But I also feel like NXT is the kind of place he could benefit from right now. The guy's very much a rookie. He's new to the wrestling world, you know. It seems fair. It makes a lot of sense. I feel like, honestly, looking at this ring, barring Darren Young and... no, just Darren Young. There are a lot of veterans in the business here. And I do feel like these are kind of all natural fits to, you know, move up from NXT quite quickly because of that. Over the ropes and out of the ring goes Darren Young, so it will be some kind of wrestling veteran slash legend facing off against, as I said before, potentially Robert Scorpio. I don't know that for a fact, but the rumor right now is that he is the bottom-ranked SmackDown superstar, and it could very well be him. I'll be sure to get back to you on who the bottom-ranked Raw superstar is in a moment, so that we can kind of get a rough idea of who the winner of this match will be facing. But it's to be determined as it currently stands. We won't know the full-on answer to that until this Saturday Superstars when the match takes place. Virgil caught up on the ropes there as Bundy and DiBiase work to eliminate him. And I mean, it would really be interesting for Bobby the Brain Heenan if he ends up losing one of his men. Just a second. Oh, what happened? What happened? What happened? What happened? Where is everything? I can't see nothing. I have a black screen. Okay, that was weird. Hopefully that doesn't affect the recording at all. I think I accidentally knocked my HDMI cable out of my monitor. Now I can't full screen it. Well, I believe I heard the words Bruno is out. Oh. Okay. Yeah, I'm not able to get a full screen anymore. Wow, okay, we're getting back-to-back after back-to-back eliminations as we are now down to these two. Dusty Rhodes and Ted DiBiase, which of course is where the path started for the both of these two. They had a one-on-one match against each other, and I'm very interested to see what will go down with it coming down to these two, as Dusty Rhodes has won this one. It will be Dusty in an Earn Your Spot match this Saturday on Superstars, the first ever Earn Your Spot match. And as I said with him going into it, he was the only man who had initially won a match here on NXT, so the favors were in his corner. And I'm quite happy to see that paid off for him. I'm quite happy to see that Dusty Rhodes will be the first guy in a Earn Your Spot match. I have no idea if I'm messing up the video right now. I'm just trying to get this to... I can't, for some reason, I'm getting like a... Okay, you guys can't see this, it doesn't matter to you at all, but whenever I click full screen on this video, it just puts it on like half of my screen. It's really weird. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Well, we'll be moving onwards now to our next match of the night, the semi-finals. will begin being determined as we move up to our next match of the night. It is Andre the Giant and Ric Flair set to go one-on-one.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring, accompanied by Bobby the Brain Heenan. From Grenoble in the French Alps, weighing 476 pounds, the eighth wonder of the world, Andre the Giant.
Bobby the Brain Heenan in the corner of Andre the Giant once again, and unfortunately for Heenan, one of his members of his Heenan family, King Kong Bundy, was knocked off by Ric Flair in a qualifying match just last week on NXT. Well, here tonight, Andre the Giant gets a shot at maybe redemption for King Kong Bundy, as he is the next opponent for Ric Flair in the NXT Championship tournament. What an absolute freak of nature this guy is. Andre the Giant is someone I feel has to be an odds-on favorite to win the NXT Championship. Unless Ric Flair can defeat this guy tonight. If Ric Flair can't do it, I don't know who can. Maybe the winner of Ramon and Langston. I feel like that's two guys that could square up. I mean, honestly, I feel like maybe Titus could. He's been very impressive since his debut, and obviously having Darren Young in his corner the whole time, he's probably a little bit thankful Darren Young didn't win the Earn Your Spot Battle Royal.
And approaching the ring, from Charlotte, North
Did I make
Carolina,
all of his ropes that, or is this the same attire as last week? I don't remember.
Ric Flair.
Well, Ric Flair last week was very impressive in his victory over King Kong Bundy. Despite interference after interference from Bobby the Brain Heenan, this guy really just hung in there and eventually defeated Bundy. We'll see if tonight the Nature Boy can continue to impress and earn his way into a semi-finals match. I'll be sure to tell you what the semi-finals are following the conclusion of our main event tonight between Sergeant Slaughter and Seth Rollins. Right now we have every name filled in on the wheel to decide who will be facing who in the semi-finals next week, but we won't know the answer to that until this has all been kind of narrowed down, so to speak. Here we go. Nature Boy Ric Flair and Andre the Giant. Two living legends in the wrestling world finding their way into this universe. And Bobby Heenan is already livid as Ric Flair does the unthinkable to kick this match off. He did it. He slammed him. Well, I tell you, this is an interesting night we got here tonight. From this match to Ramon and Big E up next to the main event between Sergeant Slaughter and Seth Rollins. It's going to be a great night of NXT. And I forgot to find out who the bottom rank guy on Raw was so that we could see who the two potential opponents for Dusty Rhodes are. I don't actually know who the bottom guy on Raw is right now, so I can't say. I just know I saw Scorpio's name at the bottom of the SmackDown list. I feel like NXT is exactly where Scorpio needs to head at this current point in time anyway, so that may be the right decision. I'm not saying Scorpio is definitely going to lose to Dusty Rhodes, but obviously if he wins, then great. Business could pick up for Scorpio. I just feel like right now that guy's going through a real rut, which is why he's the bottom ranked guy on SmackDown. Sorry, there's a noise outside. I was trying to figure out if that was Saria coming home or not. I have to listen out for that, but no, it's just my neighbors shouting their fucking heads off as they talk face to face with each other. Talk, not argue. They are literally just shouting because why not? Slams him once again into the man. I gotta say, Ric Flair has been very impressive in the early goings of this matchup. Needed a gut there of Ric Flair. I must admit, I said it on Raw and I'll say it again. This is my second recording now. using this other capture program, and unfortunately it really does seem like OBS was the reason that my capture card kept lagging. I don't know why, I don't understand it in the slightest, but it's working now. It's like Rick. I'm assuming it probably had something to do with the 720p kind of lower, more weird, inconsistent frame rates on the PS3 and stuff. It's probably something to do with that, just the PS3 is what I'm saying. Because I'm pretty sure I've done other games on my streaming program before and never had any lag problems, so at least these videos won't lag. At least now that's a fortunate improvement. For those that don't know, if you've never been a YouTube person, if you've never looked into it, capture cards and all that, the PS3 is really awkward because it's got HDCP built into it, which is a content block. If you use an HDMI, which most people do, why wouldn't you? It's like 2022. I think it's like pretty much taken. Yeah, it's completely taken over. I don't want to say pretty much. There are no other things on modern day things. It's all HDMI. But the PS3 has like a block because they don't want people like pirating, I think. I don't really understand why it's there. I think it's for like if you're watching like DVDs. I think it has something to do with the fact that it's got Blu-ray built into it. So it's a content blocker, and if it detects that you have an HDMI hooked into a capture card, it won't pass anything through it. It'll all be blank. Which is exactly what I've been dealing with, is nothing's coming up. If I use the HDMI. So I have to use a component cable. There's a special PS3 specific one that comes with my capture card that like kind of brings it up to HDMI quality, sort of, but not really, because it's still component. I have to use that whenever I record things off the PS3, but I can tell that it's not very good in comparison to a regular HDMI. It's just the only choice. So that's why these look a little bit janky compared to like if I was to play off the 360. Because I was watching someone play an older game, I think it was like SAR11 or something, off the 360, and I was like, oh my god, I forgot how much better this looked on the 360, because it was actually 1080p, whereas in this, on the PS3, everything's 720. Oh, I thought we were over there. Ric Flair with a very surprising kick out. An eye rake by Andre. I feel like he doesn't need to stoop to that. And another one. Yeah, I think that's pretty much the summary of it. There are ways around it. You can get like an HDMI splitter and stuff, but if you use an HDMI splitter, then your video looks worse anyway, because it's split, so it's not going to be full quality pass through. So I'm just making do. I'm just really looking forward to being finished with these games on PS3, because I don't think I'll be recording much else from it. It's just too awkward to set up. A double arm suplex there by Andre the Giant could be the end of Ric Flair. I gotta say, Andre has been very dominant. Ric Flair has been impressive, don't get me wrong, he's been very impressive in this matchup, but he's not quite been able to keep up with Andre. I do believe Andre is a step above King Kong Bundy, and I mean that with all due respect to someone quite as fierce as Bundy. Please don't. Don't do it. Don't pay attention to the fact that he's nodding his head. There we go. Andre the Giant fighting back here. And Ric Flair, oh my god! Like it was nothing, and ooh! Breaks the boot across the face, and now we're walking. Oh my god, he stood on him for I think must have been like a full couple seconds there. You can rewind that and look at the timer in the corner if you really want to know if that was a couple seconds. It felt like it was a couple seconds. Submission holder, and it's no surprise to see Bobby Heenan now getting involved. This guy wants to make sure that his huge investment pays off. Sorry, I didn't mute my mic there because I could feel a cough coming on. Kicks the leg of Ric Flair as Andre the Giant is in control of this matchup. Poked to the eye there by Ric Flair, though. A low, dirty move. Kick to the midsection. Ric Flair now. Look at this. Striking down with the knee. weakening that leg for the figure four. Can he get the figure four off on someone the size of Andre the Giant? And Bobby Heenan not going to take any chances here. He's going to make sure that Andre is as safe as can be. Pinfall attempt. Remember, it was Heenan that blew Bundy winning last week. Bundy had submitted Ric Flair. The referee didn't see it because of Heenan. And Ric Flair now going for it. My God, the legs the size of Andre the Giant. He still manages to get it in. The figure four leg lock applied on those giant legs of Andre the Giant. And Heenan doesn't seem worried. He seems like he's fairly confident Andre won't tap out, and he didn't. Andre did not tap out. Ric Flair lost his grip. He had to let go. This is only the first match here tonight on NXT of the NXT Championship tournament. It's our second match tonight, but it's the first of the tournament. Andre now coming off the ropes, and here's a big cross-body splash. Once again, covers Ric Flair. Full weight crashing down on him, and that's enough to put Ric Flair away. So Andre the Giant will be advancing in the NXT Championship tournament, and if Ric Flair couldn't do it, who can? I hate this animation so much. If it wasn't so much effort to like restart a match real quick, remove the manager, record the victory animation without the manager so that you could get like a proper celebration, I would. I hate it. It's the same one for every single manager victory. They put one animation in. So lazy. As we move towards our next match, Razor Ramon and Big E Langston.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring from Miami, Florida, weighing 289 pounds, Razor Ramon. It's always innovation with a bad.
Well, this should be an interesting matchup here tonight. Razor Ramon, who I thought was very impressive in his first matchup. Well, now here tonight, he is set to go one-on-one with Big E Langston, and this should be very, very interesting for sure. I still have not found out who the lowest ranked guy on Raw is. It's really starting to bug me. I keep forgetting every single time I stop recording a match and I move on to the next one. It just immediately falls right out of the brain. I've like got it mentally noted the whole time the match is going on, and then as soon as I'm done recording the match and I have to do the next one, I just gone.
Approaching the ring from Tampa, Florida, weighing 302 pounds, Big E Langston.
I tell you, I thought the way that Big E Langston was able to overcome Fandango despite the many, many, many interferences and distractions from Summer Rae was extremely impressive. This guy took a lot of offense, including what I now know is apparently Fandango's finishing move, that takedown that he did multiple times. I think he did say the name of it, but I don't remember what it was. Sorry, Fandango. Despite all of that, Big E Langston was able to overcome Fandango and advance to the quarterfinals here tonight, the beginning of this official part of the NXT Championship tournament. We now know two semifinalists, Titus O'Neil and Andre the Giant. The question is, who will be the third semifinalist? This is perhaps the most interesting matchup of them all here tonight. Two top prodigies. It's gotta be. I can't do it. I cannot do it. Millions of coal miners lifting up Razor Ramon by his throat as he slams him down. Big E Langston taking control of this very quickly, as we're already resorting to physical violence on the American commentary team. Always threatening to punch each other in the face. They need to learn to get along with their commentary partners, as well as I'm getting along with mine right now. Me and my commentary partner, we see eye to eye on everything, except for each other's eyes, because that's physically impossible. Clothesline into the corner by Razor Ramon. So far, we've got a living legend in the sense of Andre the Giant and a up-and-comer in the name of Titus O'Neil, I do wonder how that will continue to kind of slim down, as I feel like this and the next match, you know, these two generational matches. If Razor Ramon wins this, if Sergeant Slaughter wins the next match, Titus O'Neil could be the only kind of younger, fresh-faced superstar in this tournament. I don't think that there's like necessarily a rivalry between the two generations. I'm not trying to start anything between them. I just want to speculate that other part, you know, the fact that there are some real experienced veterans in the wrestling world like Razor Ramon who are only here on NXT because this is the starting point for them. Or the fresh-faced newcomers like Big E, Langston, Fandango, Seth Rollins, Titus O'Neil, Darren Young. You know, it's quite a clear split here on NXT. And we could be one veteran down on NXT if Dusty Rhodes wins his Earn Your Spot match in 4 days' time this... oh, sorry, 3 days' time this Saturday on Superstars. I am very much looking forward to seeing if Dusty has found his way out of NXT already. Not that NXT is like a horrible place to be or anything, you know. I just feel like a veteran like Dusty is someone that doesn't need to spend too much time down here, to be honest. It's 2 victories down so far here on NXT, only having suffered a loss to Titus O'Neil with a lot of help from Darren Young. Side suplex there by Big E Langston. And now the cover attempt here. Razor Ramon able to kick out of that one. It's really tough to see this match go down because to me this felt like a match that I would have loved to have seen as the finals. I really feel like these are the two guys that if I had to pick, these are who I'd select. Back body drop there by Big E Langston. Throwing Ramon around like it's nothing. Cover attempt here on Razor Ramon as he got him defeated. Yes. Well, that was underwhelming. Very, very underwhelming. I don't know what went wrong there, but Razor Ramon is out of here, and Big E Langston advances to the semi-finals. That was a very strange, short-lived matchup there. I don't know if maybe Razor Ramon took a bad fall at some point, maybe dealing with a concussion or something, but that was very out of character for Razor Ramon to suffer a loss quite that quickly. As we move towards our main event up next, Sergeant Slaughter and Seth Rollins compete to determine who will be the final qualifier for the semi-final rounds, which I will then also be able to reveal who will be competing in the semi-finals next week here on NXT. Yeah, I changed his theme. I couldn't stand the one he had. This one sounded like it kind of fit. Well, Sergeant Slaughter makes his way to the ring here tonight in our main event to find out who will be the 4th and final semi-finalist, and it is time to find out what those 2 semi-finals will be next week on NXT. In the opening match of next week's NXT, Big E Langston will be kicking off next week's NXT with a one-on-one clash with Titus O'Neil. The winner of that matchup will advance to the finals, which means that in the main event of NXT next week, it will be Andre the Giant versus the winner of this matchup, whoever that may be. And here he comes.
Approaching the ring from Davenport, Iowa, weighing 209 pounds, Seth Rollins.
Shrouded in mystery, no one really knows anything about Seth Rollins. A dark and mysterious type here in NXT. But very impressive. His first matchup we saw 3 weeks ago on NXT, defeating Bruno Sammartino in a very competitive match in the main event. This guy got off to a very good start. We'll see if he can continue that tonight against Sergeant Slaughter. We've been told that a rematch request has been made from both parties, and they have been confirmed to be taking place next week here on NXT. So the third match will be taking place next week on NXT. If Seth Rollins loses here tonight, he'll be going one-on-one with Bruno Sammartino, and if Sergeant Slaughter loses here tonight, he'll be going one-on-one with Bryce Walker next week on NXT. That will be added, of course, as I mentioned before, to Big E Langston versus Titus O'Neil, and Andre the Giant in the main event facing the winner of this match. Find out who will be the first NXT champion, which we will finally find out in 2 weeks' time. Seth Rollins, as I said before, very impressive in the ring. Really schooling Sergeant Slaughter to start things off here. And I can confirm to you, by the way, that the bottom-ranked superstar from Raw, I had a quick look, it is in fact David Otunga. Which takes me back to my previous point I've made before of the fact that that means that it will be Robert Scorpio versus Dusty Rhodes this Saturday in a Earn Your Spot match, as David Otunga has already competed earlier this week. So, a spot on the SmackDown roster at stake for Dusty Rhodes. All he's got to do is defeat someone who right now is very much struggling to get a victory. I wonder if maybe even coming to NXT is going to be enough to save Robert Scorpio if he loses to Dusty Rhodes. Not exactly a very light roster here on NXT right now. Tell you what is light though, that's the work that Seth Rollins is making of Sergeant Slaughter right now. Ouch! Why was that so funny? Ouch! Mark it down on your calendars though, the 9th of May, 2 weeks from now, we will find out the first ever NXT champion. It is so near. Oh wow, what a move by Seth Rollins. My god, this guy is impressive. Rollins coming up the top, knee drop, rolls through. Did you see the way he smoothly rolled through? That wasn't a crash and burn like a lot of top rope moves can be. There was no risk really for Seth Rollins there, as it would appear. Slaughter now choking out Seth Rollins. Into the midsection. Rollins coming in strong once again. Kick to the back of Sergeant Slaughter. Rollins. Ooh, with a big kick to the jaw there of Sergeant Slaughter. You see the way he just laid him out. Not enough though. Sergeant Slaughter with a kick out. Northern Light suplex connecting there by Seth Rollins. Got both arms hooked, and Slaughter continues to hang in there, but he is really struggling to keep up with Seth Rollins. Fisherman super. Oh, nice! Cradles him in here, and it's a kick out by Slaughter once again. Every time Slaughter gets back on his feet, Seth Rollins turns things around, and what is this? Seth Rollins. Oh my god. Oh! Just stomping down on his head. Rollins into the cover. Of course it's over. Sergeant Slaughter got absolutely annihilated by Seth Rollins, who continues to impress here on NXT.
Here is your winner, Seth Rollins. Absolutely amazing.
This guy has got to be someone who is going... Well, I was about to say got to be someone who's going all the way. I take that back. Next week, this guy faces off against Andre the Giant in the main event of NXT, and I feel like next week we will find out just how tough Seth Rollins really is. He's been very impressive so far in the NXT Championship time. We've only seen him twice, but both times incredible performances from this guy. Are we looking at the first ever NXT champion right here? Perhaps we are. Seth Rollins dominant in his victory tonight over Sergeant Slaughter. Let me once again remind you, next week on NXT, Big E Langston and Titus O'Neil in the first semi-final matchup for the NXT Championship tournament. Bryce Walker looks to get revenge against Sergeant Slaughter when they go one-on-one. And in the main event, Andre the Giant meets Seth Rollins, two very dominant forces on NXT right now. The winner of that facing off against Big E or Titus the following week on NXT, as we are now coming to the closing moments of this championship tournament. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you this Friday on SmackDown.